Welcome to the Star Wars Dollar Tree Challenge. In this challenge, you could use up to $15 maximum from the dollar store or anywhere you want to buy stuff, but maximum money is $15. The whole thing about this challenge is we want to make you make stuff out of nothing. We want you to kind of use your brain to kind of, picture things in your head that you wouldn't normally, just to kind of break you out of that box, And in this challenge, it's all going to be about making something Star Wars. You can make whatever you want. So let's see what everybody else took from this challenge.
Star Wars Dollar Store Challenge.
What's up, guys? It's Kelly Sterne of Props and Villainy. I'm showing off my R5 Beer 4 freaking bucket holder. This is it. Hope you like it. It's got my matching R5 chest plate. Got my drinking hose here. Refreshing. Sitting here watching Star Wars, of course. My buddy Gonk. And just chilling. Let's watch a little clip here of my good acting. Alright. It's a bad motivator. That was some good acting right there. So anyway. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it. Not the droid you're looking for. Move along. Move along.
Right off the back, we got to remove the contents from inside this stuff. We got to clear it all out. Next, we got to remove the labeling it had there. It was pretty easy. The adhesive wasn't strong at all. Now we're going to sand this down, the whole, actually all of it, with a sanding sponge, 320 grit. Just take that and give it a nice light sanding all the way around. This will give the paint something to grab onto. Nope, we don't need that, so take that out. And we're also going to do the same thing. We're going to give it a light sanding to this again, so the paint can adhere to it. All right, make sure also once you're done sanding these bad boys, you clean them up with a little bit of alcohol. We don't have any of that dust on there before paint.
All right, next step is to, after we clean them, is to go ahead and put a base coat, a primer coat.
All right, all the painting is done. Now comes my favorite part, unmasking. And we're going to do some weathering using the Artisan oil water-based paint. I learned this technique from Brian from the Smuggler's Room. You're also using makeup brushes to blend it all in. It gives it almost a greasy look, dirty look. So I did that to both the bottom and the top half. Next, we're going to do some dry brush. We're going to use some of this Liquitex Heavy Body Silver, very sparingly. We're going to use a brush, and then we're going to wipe most of it off and then apply it on to all the high points. Now for the LED, it's pretty simple. We had a pre-wired flashing LED with a resistor on it, coin battery, obviously with a little coin holder that has an off and on and off switch. Pretty simple thing to do. If you have any questions, leave comments in the comment section below, and I will respond to that regarding how I put this together. Oh yeah, sucker, sucker, looky, looky. All right, they're done, and they're blinking. I'll see you around.
What's happening, guys? It's Steve from the Rebel Workshop. Because I'm in the UK, I had to convert the $15 to pounds, and that worked out about £11. After finding this Nesquik chocolate milk tub, I decided I'm going to try and make some ElectroBinoculars. And my £11 didn't stretch very far, so luckily all these greeblies were free. So I just got on with the project. I had to draw a few holes, make up a viewfinder faceplate out with Sintra, and a couple of lids and greeblies. Carried on drilling more holes, gluing things together, cutting out ribs to go around the actual binocular body. You see me gluing it all together. So up next was the paint. I started off with a grey primer, a coat of black on top of that, some masking fluid on top of that, white paint on top of that. Then I started taking all the masking fluid off. Then started weathering it. Looking very nice and dirty. I then added a strap, and that was it done. If you want to see the full build, you can watch this video on my YouTube channel, The Rebel Workshop. Thanks to Dave for putting out this challenge. I've really enjoyed this one, and it turned out pretty good.
This was a pretty quick build, so I only had a few reference photos that I wanted to go off of, and I wasn't going for exact detail, especially the $15 price point. Everything was just kind of cut on the bandsaw and hot glued together. I really didn't know how this was going to go together, as far as I know I needed to have the main part of the droid popping out with the hinge lid. I needed to diffuse the light, and that's where the toilet bowl brush really helped with diffusing that tea light that I shoved into the ball at the end. Once I had the basic structure in place, it came together really quickly. I mean, for the most part, all I used was the bandsaw, the hot glue gun. I used the old soldering iron, but really it's that paint job that bring it all together. In the end, the texture of the bronze that I used on top of the automotive dark gray primer really just like made that pop. And then the brass finish on the eyelids. I've included a shopping list so you can build your own GateKeeper droid. And if you do build one of these GateKeepers, tag me on Instagram at _Tinius. I'd love to see what you guys create.
So initially, I was thinking pretty small. I was gonna use 2 storage bins and make a cave out of it. And then I was gonna use this little toy iron and make a Boba Fett ship.
This is Jabba's Hookah. Go over the build list. The Hot Wheels track, I ripped on the bandsaw into little pieces. That's what this is. That's also what this piece is here. The piece that I didn't rip are kind of acting as like a support brace for the bowl, or it's not actually attached to this planter. I'll show you why in a second. Here's our Greeblies clips, binder clips. Those have been cut off and trimmed. Planter, 2 clear plastic bowls, Hot Wheels tracks, a toy drill, and then the squirt gun acts as both like this heating element, and then ripped it apart, and it's also the actual pipe. The jump rope attaches here and acts as a tube. As far as Greeblies, this is a Simply Juice lid. This is a part from my Greebly box. It is a piece of a fan that I tore apart. The hair gel, you can see it kind of glowing, acts as a liquid, so it's water, but it's not gonna move around. And then the pillow foam acts as smoke. That's a little bit harder to see, but there's the pillow foam in here, and it's been dusted and sprayed. This whole bowl lifts up off of the planter base, and that's where the light is. I just cut a hole in the bottom of the planter, and then this just rests on there so that I can go in, change the light, change the batteries, and also so that I can turn the light on and off. So that is my $15 Jabba the Hutt Hookah. Fun challenge. Hope to do something like this again soon. Thanks everybody for including me.
Dave at Whiteys Workshop has issued another challenge. I've got the shopping list and $15.
I started with an empty box from a MacBook Pro laptop. When I saw the inside, it just screamed Star Wars control panel to me. To keep within the $15 budget for this build, I looked for mostly items I've gotten for free. I had this part from an old door lock, and I decided to glue a piece of LED lens diffuser to the back side so I could illuminate it with some LEDs. Every once in a while, you just get lucky. This part was a perfect friction fit with a juice lid, and it would become the main element for the recessed square hole in the panel. I proceeded to lay out the other items, including another door lock part, a TV mount spacer, a foot from an AV receiver, a rectifier, and other various parts. I decided to try some extreme weathering techniques on this panel, so I started with iron oxide paint from Modern Masters. When it's sprayed with the activator, it creates a real rust effect. I then layered in some burnt sienna and black water mixable oil paints and some patina colored acrylic paint. I then dusted the whole panel with 2 colors of Fuller's Earth to add some dirty grit. I wanted to add some details to the edges of the panel, so in the tradition of Kelly Sterne from Props and Villainy, I cut some EVA foam strips and laid out my greeblies. I cut out some openings for some of the items and used a leather punch and razor knife to make strategic holes and slots. I was pleasantly surprised with what I was able to accomplish for less than $15. This was a lot of fun to build, and my thanks goes out to Whiteys Wicked Workshop for creating this challenge.
Today I'm going to be showing you the last part of my build for the Star Wars Dollar Store Challenge. So I started out with some tin foil from the Dollar Tree, and I added some Sculpey clay over the top of that. It was just a process of trying to create his body and get all the forms right. Then moved on to paint. This is the bottom paint layer, the base paint, and he ended up looking like this. Kind of pretty happy with how he turned out. And this is the enclosure that I started with from the thrift store, and I just kind of altered all the different pieces, trying to decide what fits where, adding paint. Love how that paint job turned out. Working on greeblies and dry fitting, making sure the Wortt fits inside. Gluing on greeblies. Painting the inside, adding grime and texture to the entire piece, getting that cohesiveness between all the random parts and pieces with paint. Wort's just hanging out there all by himself. This is the mini moisture evaporator that I made for the top. Because how else is he going to get water? Just showing the different textures of the aging and distressing with acrylic paint. And here it is complete. Love how this turned out. It was so much fun. Thank you so much, Dave of Whiteys Wicked Workshop. Appreciate you. Love seeing everybody's projects. I'll see you next time.
So for my Star Wars build, I made a panel. The items that I purchased, honestly, was just this thing right here. It's a canister that I got from Home Depot, and it was about $4. And then the only other thing that I got was from Walmart. It was also $4, was just some lights. Everything else I had on hand, just little odds and ends and such. This piece of plywood that I had left over from some woodworking that I've done, and I just spray painted it. Honestly, the most of the base that's on there is just primer. I didn't really do a whole lot of anything special because I didn't know what I was doing, because it's kind of the first big thing that I got into, if you will. But I think it turned out pretty cool. Anyway, it was a fun build. Look forward to doing some more awesome stuff. I'm like super stoked that I found this group. It's been very influential to me. I mean, Star Wars has been influential to me in general, but you guys have been inspiring to me and wanted to go ahead and take creativity to another level, and I'm really, really excited about this. And thank you for the opportunity to be able to be a part of this group.
This is great! Oh.
So I went to the dollar store, and I actually bought all of that stuff that you see in that was on fire over there. And I bought a bunch of stuff and put it on my table to try and figure out what I'm going to use. So, yeah, I ended up not using some things. I actually used 12 items from the dollar store, which came out to exactly $15, even with the new price hike. So, I know that Seth's going to be happy about that one.
We all really hope that you like this video. A lot of people put a lot of work into it. Some people not so much. Right, Aedo? Just kidding. Everybody's was great. This challenge wasn't a contest, and it was put there that way. There's no gimmies or prizes or anything like that. This is just to, you know, get people together and just kind of make stuff from the dollar store or wherever. So I thought it was really fun. Come check us out for next time. Star Wars Dollar Store Challenge Facebook group. We'll be having more challenges in the future. All right, I'll see you next time on Whiteys Wicked Workshop.